Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel and welcome to a very special video. Taunton Carnival 2025, a celebration of light, music and community spirit that once again reminded me why this tradition means so much to us all. As the final lights faded and the streets of Taunton fell quiet once more, I found myself thinking back over what had been an incredible night. The floats this year were breathtaking. Huge illuminated carts rumbled through the town, alive with colour and movement, dancers, costumes and thousands of lights flashing in time to the beat. The crowds were thick along the pavements, everyone smiling, waving, taking it all in. For a few hours, Taunton felt electric, a place transformed by joy and creativity. And even though the rain came down at times, it didn't dampen the spirit one bit. There were some heavy showers, but umbrellas popped up, raincoats went on, and people stayed right where they were. The streets were lined from start to finish, right until the very last float passed. That's what makes Taunton Carnival so special. The commitment, the pride, and the sense that nothing can wash away that community spirit. It's one of those nights that truly has something for everyone. Families with children like us, groups of friends, older couples who've been coming for decades, all shoulder to shoulder, sharing in the same spectacle. There's laughter, music, the smell of food stalls in the air, and that unmistakable feeling of togetherness that only a Somerset Carnival can bring. And it's not just about the big floats. The walk-in entries this year were just as impressive, and in many ways just as touching. I saw groups of children in all sorts of costumes and themes, from fairy tale characters to superheroes, each one beaming with pride as they waved to the crowd. Several Somerset majorette and dance troupes joined the procession too, their routines adding rhythm and sparkle to the night. What's really special is how the carnival brings everyone together, not just from Taunton but from all corners of Somerset and beyond. Community groups, churches and cultural organisations came together to share their music, traditional dress and heritage. There was such a strong sense of inclusion this year, a celebration not only of light and creativity, but of diversity too. And of course, the big carts stole the show once again. A particular favourite for me this year was the Knutsford Nutters Carnival Club, with their hilarious cart, Don't Fly With Us, a cheeky, clever take on the world of air travel that had everyone laughing. With its playful energy and a few sly jokes for the adults in the crowd, it was one of those entries that really captured the fun side of Carnival. And then there was the ever popular Harlequin Carnival Club, back with another stunning entry, Ice Harvest. It was an atmospheric performance, brilliantly lit to show off the incredible workmanship and detail that had gone into every inch of the cart. Year after year, Harlequin never failed to impress, and 2025 was no exception. Watching all of this unfold, I couldn't help but think back to how it all began, to the early days of Carnival in Somerset. The roots of these illuminated processions stretch back more than 400 years, to the aftermath of the failed gunpowder plot of 1605. Across England, people lit bonfires to celebrate the King's survival, but here in Somerset, those celebrations took on a life of their own. Over time, the fire and torches evolved into parades filled with light and music, becoming the illuminated carnivals that define our county today. By the late 19th century, towns like Bridgewater, Glastonbury and Yeovil were famous for their spectacular processions, and Taunton soon joined their ranks. The town's first carnival took place in 1891 when local cyclists organised a torchlit parade to raise money for the Taunton and Somerset Hospital. It was a simple act of charity, but it sparked something enduring. Back then, the event had a fiery edge, quite literally. I still remember as a child being both mesmerised and terrified by the burning tar barrels that used to be rolled through the streets to mark the start of Carnival night. The sight of flames dancing against the dark sky, the smell of smoke, the cheers of the crowd, it was wild and unforgettable. That tradition has long since disappeared, replaced with safer and more modern festivities, but I'll never forget the excitement it brought. These days, the roar of motorbikes marks the start of the evening. The riders thunder through the town, engines rumbling, lights gleaming, setting the perfect tone for what's to come. It's a thrilling modern twist that still captures that same rush of anticipation. Through the decades, Taunton Carnival has grown and changed. By the 1920s, it had become a major annual event, and in 1933, the first Carnival Queen, Madge Coles of Wiveliscombe, was crowned. Even world wars couldn't dampen its spirit for long. After the Second World War, the carnival came roaring back, with the 1953 coronation procession drawing huge crowds. And this year's event, held on Saturday the 18th of October, felt like a continuation of that proud legacy. The floats, the dancers, the walkers, all of it came together to create a night that was every bit as dazzling as the carnivals of old. Behind all the spectacle lies months of hard work. Each cart is built by teams of volunteers who spend evenings and weekends welding, painting, wiring and rehearsing in barns and sheds across Somerset. It's a craft passed down through generations, equal parts engineering, artistry and dedication. And at the heart of it all is charity. That's something that has never changed. From that very first hospital fundraiser in 1891 to the carnival we see today, every float and every performance helps raise money for local causes. It's a beautiful cycle, light, laughter and generosity feeding back into the community that makes it all possible. As the final float rolled away and the sound of music faded into the night, I felt that familiar mix of joy and nostalgia. The same feeling that's been part of this town for more than a century, pride in what we've created and excitement for what's still to come. Taunton Carnival 2025 wasn't just an event, it was a living piece of history, a celebration of creativity, family and community. A reminder that when people come together to build, to dance, to share and to give, they can light up the night in the most extraordinary way. And as I look back over the footage, I can still hear the echoes of the music, see the faces in the crowd and feel that spark of wonder that started it all, back when the fire barrels rolled, the torches burned and the story of Taunton Carnival first began.